Humble greetings to you from the womb of Africa, the mother of creation, the source of esoteric knowledge. My name is Matsilo Motsei. There is an African belief that says your life story is inscribed in the name that you answer to. Matsilo comes from this rock, Tsilo. It is a rock that my people used to grind corn. Therefore, I am the mother of a rock that my people used to nurture their physical selves. It is wonderful for me to meet you here at the river with a mountain in the background. The mountain looks static. It is always there, even when it's covered by cloud. The river always flows. It changes every moment, but it is always there. In a sense, one could say it's always the same. The meeting point between the mountain and the river is symbolic of ourselves as people. There is something that stays the same even as we flow like a river. But there is also something that changes even as we stay the same as a mountain. It is wonderful to meet you on this day, 21/12/2012. When you add up those numbers, you end with the number 2. In African spiritual numerology, the number 2 signifies the meeting point between heaven and earth, secular and spiritual. In a sense, this era and this period, if you look at it in African cosmology, it is an invitation for us to enter into a union or holy matrimony, if you like, with the Most High. Entering into a union with the God that is within, after having externalized God, after having understood God to be out there rather than being here, being us, we are invited to return to the place of power, a place of greatness, a place of being one with God. Answering to the invitation calls for one thing: freedom from fear. Overcome fear. Fear is the one thing that holds us back. Fear is the one obstacle that stops us from realizing our fullest potential. Fear is the one thing that makes us small, even when we are great. There are different manifestations of fear. The one biggest is fear of freedom. When you are free, you know that you are the creator, that your thoughts are the building blocks for your reality. You therefore cannot always externalize and blame when you should be looking within. The other fear that we need to overcome is fear of the darkness. We cannot transcend to light until we understand the dynamic of our darkness. Darkness is almost like an incubation period. There is value in darkness because darkness gives us time to incubate, to get to know who we are before we transcend to light. The other fear that we are called to overcome is fear of the unknown and unfamiliar. We relate to the world as we know it. We therefore are afraid to go to places that we do not know. There is a saying that says, faith is focusing on the star to which you know you belong. The other fear that we should overcome is fear of the feminine. That is something that I would like to call the feminine face of God. The feminine face of God calls for love, calls for compassion, calls for cooperation. The values that we have been conditioned to suppress and repress. This is an invitation for us to unleash and unveil the feminine face of God. This does not necessarily make the masculine values obsolete. It brings in a marriage between values of outcome, values of competition, with values of cooperation and process. We are now standing at the edge. We are invited to leap into the unfamiliar. We cannot heal until we name our wounds. We cannot heal until we take responsibility for our wounding. We cannot heal fully until we know that we are the doctors with the cure to heal ourselves. I want to end this message with a symbol. There is a saying in African languages that when you point a finger at someone, there are three others that are pointing at you. The human race has been operating through control, conflict, blame. This era is time for reflection, time and an invitation for an inward-bound journey to find and dig through the greatness, our magnificence, and our power to create the world that we want. Interestingly, this symbol, which is pointing a finger outwards while three are pointing at you, it's also a symbol that is used by young musicians when they say peace. But then when you turn that around, it can also be a sign of a gun. So on the one side, you have war or peace. On the one side, you have blame or self-reflection. This is the meeting point between heaven, earth, secular, spiritual. It's a meeting point in us to go inside and unleash the beauty, the magnificence of all of who we are. It is wonderful to meet you here at the river in Africa. The time to be loved is now. Time is upon us. Thank you.